twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to historic Spartan Stadium for tonight's SOC Division I contest between the Green Bobcats, who come visiting to the Notre Dame Titans. Green coming in with a record of 2-5, Notre Dame standing at 1-6, and this SOC Division I game will feature two squads that have an opportunity here to get back on the winning track. The Bobcats of first-year coach Ted Newsom coming in, as they will take on Notre Dame. And Notre Dame starting the first of 3 home games in a row to close out the 2014 season. Tony Lavender, along with his own sports team, set to bring you tonight's ball game. And in the ball game tonight, our officials will be Bernie Hensley, Tony Payne, Ralph Merritt, Larry Mookie, and Andy Compliment. Those will be our officials for tonight's ball game, and we're happy to have them along with us and happy to have you there as well. And we'll be back with more of our pregame activity from Spartan Stadium when we return right after this.
Advanced 360 brings care to the next level after your hospital stay. Recover in luxury in your private suite. Stay connected, relax, and focus on healing and getting back home. Advanced 360 is Portsmouth's premier post-hospital rehabilitation destination. Contact your healthcare provider to reserve your private recovery suite today. Located on the campus of Bridgeport Healthcare, a proud member of the Communicare family of companies.
It's homecoming night here at Notre Dame High School, the 2014 homecoming, and in addition to that, Notre Dame a bit of a throwback tonight as they honor the 1967 and 1970 state championship teams that led the Titans on to victory in those 2 big years. And they'll be honoring their homecoming queen tonight, as well as honoring those 2 teams that were state champions back in the pre-playoff games days in the state of Ohio. Let's take a look at the starting lineups tonight. First of all, the offensive lineup for the Green Bobcats. And across the front line, they'll have at the tackles Trevor Carver, 5'11", 185-pound sophomore, and Bryce Salyers, 6 foot tall, 200-pound junior. At the guards, it'll be 6'2", 280-pound senior Braden Miller, and Tyler Johnson. He's 6'3", 280 pounds, and he is but a freshman. The center will be Peyton Armstrong. Armstrong 6'1", 260 pounds, and he is a sophomore. The wide receivers, Coach Newsom alternates 3 guys in there. Brandon Hellier, 6'1", 160-pound junior. Noah Roberts, 6'2", 150-pound sophomore. And Brandon Bush, 6 foot tall, 175-pound sophomore. At the halfbacks, Brady Storms, 5'8", 150-pound senior, and Tyler Darnell, 5'10", 140-pound sophomore. The fullback is Wyatt Blevins, 5'9", 160-pound junior. And doing the quarterbacking chores for the Green Bobcats will be 6'2", 170-pound senior Ryan Gaffney, who is 5 for 29 on the year for 40 yards. He's been intercepted 40 times and has tossed for 1 TD. As I said, it's homecoming night here at Notre Dame in Spartan Stadium. The Titans are getting ready to come out on the field, and as you see their jerseys when they arrive, they will be throwback white, hearkening to the years when the home teams wore the white jerseys, and these are like the ones that were worn by the state championship teams of 1967 and 1970. As we continue to get ready to roll here, and we will show you that the Titans will arrive amidst the tunnel that's been set out on the field. And here come the Titans, ready for tonight's ball game. Titans coming in with a record of 1-6. They won this game last year by a score of 50-6. It's almost game time, and we'll be back. Well, we'll wait for Green to come out. The Bobcats are getting ready to come out on the other end. We'd like to show you the other teams.
Number 1, Hayden Phillips.
And apparently I was a little premature on that. So we'll be back with more from Spartan Stadium when we return right after this.
Atomic Credit Union has been serving Southern Ohio since 1955. With 11 different locations, our friendly staff is here to help you with all your financial needs. From loans to checking accounts, online services, and extended hours, Atomic Credit Union is your full-service financial institution. Check out our website at www.2mycu.com or call us at 1-800-652-2328 to learn about the benefits of an Atomic Credit Union membership.
Basler, 54, C.J. Smith, 56, Will May.
I can't hear you.
58, Alex Liston, 62.
And what are you doing?
65, Jess
Oh,
Carroll,
well,
66,
this is what we
Jared
got.
Rudity, 69, Evan Carell, 71, Mason Atkins, 74, Tristan Taylor.
Welcome back to
75,
Spartan Stadium,
Charlie
where we've got just a few seconds before kickoff time in the ball game tonight. Notre Dame, as previously mentioned, will be in the white uniforms with the gold pants and the gold headgear. And the Green Bobcats will be in green jerseys, green football pants, and white helmets. As they're getting ready to roll, Notre Dame will be defending the north goal here in the first quarter tonight. Green will be on the south end of the football field, and Notre Dame will be kicking off to the Bobcats tonight. So we're about ready to roll. Our kickoff, as always, brought to you by Falcon1.net, Minford Telephone, and Minford TV. So thanks to our sponsors.
Bernie Hensley,
and
the umpire is Tony Payne, linesman Ralph Merritt.
We're about
line
set to
judge
roll
Larry
here
Newcomb,
from Spartan
and back
Stadium.
judge Andy
Notre Dame
Compliment.
again coming in with a record of 1-6, trying to right their ship, as well as the Bobcats trying to do the same thing. So somebody will come out of this having broken into the win column. As the Titans approach the ball, the kick is there. The kick again is a shorty and end over end, and fallen on quickly by one of the Bobcats, and right on top of it there for Green was Noah Roberts, the 6'2", 150-pound sophomore. And Green will take over here as we begin the first quarter of tonight's ball game. Just 2 seconds off the clock, and Green will have the ball on their own 35-yard line to start this ball game tonight. High school football on the zone, sent your way by King's Daughters Medical Center, Ohio, Real Estate Gallery, and Falcon1.net, Minford Telephone, and Minford TV. The Bobcats come out. They've got a wingman out to the right. They go straight ahead on the dive, moving across the 35 out to about the 38-yard line.
Tackle on the play by number
And that'll make it second down and 7 yards to go
Basler.
for the Green Bobcats. Basler on the tackle
It'll be second down and
for the Titans.
a long 7.
This time Green sends a wide receiver out on either side. Again, a wingman on the right who in essence is in a slot over there. And as
Brian
Gaffney
Gaffney
turns
again
and
hands the ball
gives,
straight off up the middle. There's a host of Notre Dame
not much of a
players there
gain
to
on
meet
that
him.
one as they come
On
up
the
out of
bottom
there.
The plow is Charlie Eichenlob.
So not much of a gain as Eichenlob stops them for maybe a
We've
yard,
got a
yard and a
Notre Dame
half.
player down on
That'll
the
make it
field
third
right
down
now.
and 5 for the Green Bobcats, and there is one of the Titans down on the field. And so we'll take a quick injury timeout and be back after this.
The Battery Terminal King Chip Womack has made a proclamation announcing the appointment of his new court jester, Will. While Chip is still paying top dollar for old batteries, Jester Will is paying in gumballs when he's in the office.
Hey, West Portsmouth, do you know that Minix Giovanni's has the best pizza in town?
8584493.
You know the value of planning and hard work. For every seed you plant now, you will be rewarded later. Throughout your life, you've planned and made smart decisions. You deserve State Auto's Prime of Life to protect your home and autos. Find out more about Prime of Life and other State Auto products.
Call Barrett Murphy, your local State Auto Insurance Agency.
It'll be now third down and a long 5.
There you see the Green Bobcats coming out. They'll have third and 5 to go from their own 40. Michael Collins, the injured Notre Dame player, was able to come out under his own power. You're watching high school football on the Zone as we've got a wee bit of a misty light rain coming our way as we open up this ball game. 11 minutes to go in the first quarter. We've played but one, and they go to the halfback, and the halfback pass is thrown out to the right-hand side to Brady Storms, and Storms had his fingers on it, but he was unable to get a hold of it, and so the pass falls incomplete. It'll be 4th and 5 to go for the Green Bobcats. As they go for the old halfback pass, Darnell flings it out that way. Not the first time this year they have gone with that, and Darnell on the season has tossed 4 passes, and that's his first incompletion of the year. He was 4 for 4 coming into tonight's ball game. And the snap's a little high, and they're going for it on 4th down, and that one falls incomplete.
Out in the flats for number 19, Wyatt Blevins.
That's not something that we were is not surprising to us, as Green's kicking game has been somewhat constrained, according to Coach Newsom when I was talking to him yesterday, as they don't really have much in the way of help in the kicking game right now. So that works out to Notre Dame's favor as the Titans take over with 10:51 to go here in the first quarter, and they find themselves in a great position on the green 40-yard line. And as the Titans come out, Major will set his team and put a man in motion.
John takes the handoff.
And he's going to give it on the right side to Phillips.
Hayden Schmidt is stopped at the line of scrimmage.
And Phillips stopped over there after a pickup of maybe 1 yard.
Second down and 10
maybe.
for the Notre Dame Titans.
They'll place it down. Looks more like a matter of inches on the gain rather than a yard. So it'll be second down and 10 to go, but good field position for Notre Dame as they have the ball sitting on the green 40-yard line. Major is the quarterback. He's going to be under center right here. He's got a slot man to the right and a wing to the left that goes in motion, and they'll go with that. And a pickup of maybe 1 yard on that one for Phillips again. Hayden Phillips stopped on the play by Trevor Carver. And that's going to make it a third down and 10 to go for the Notre Dame Titans. High school football on the Zone sent your way by Advanced 360 Care, by Sisters Dairy Barn in Sciotaville, by Serve Pro, and by Attorney Eddie Edwards. Thanks to our sponsors and thanks to you for being there. Titans now, 3rd and long. Slot man to the left, wing to the right this time. And the wing goes in motion. That's Collins back in the ball game. He's got some nice blocks over there. He's going to have enough for the first down and then some, as he's finally ridden down about the 21 or 2 yard line. So Collins back in the game makes his presence known rather quickly as they go from right to left, and the rain picks up as well. So a first down for Notre Dame, our first down of the night here. We are at Spartan Stadium. Notre Dame in the white, green in the green.
25-yard line.
And Notre Dame with a new set of 4 comes out. They've got a receiver way out on the right side and a wingman on either side of the line. Phillips goes in motion. Major's looking and tucks. He's trying to get loose, and he's grabbed around the ankle and gets down down there on the 25, so basically no gain on that one. And bringing him down on the play that time was Wyatt Blevins, as Blevins does his job. He's the leading tackler for the Bobcats this year. And so the Bobcats, again, stop Notre Dame on first down. Double wings again and a receiver way out to the right-hand side. That's Johnson. And they go off tackle and a nice bit of blocking in there. And they give it up through there to Kaiser, and Kaiser is going to pick up a goodly amount of land, as he's going to be down to about the 17 or 18-yard line. They'll mark it on the 18, and it'll be 3rd and long 2, short 3 for Sam Kaiser, as the Titans, with 7:55 to go, trying to score early here. They took over on downs from Green. Started this drive on the Green 40. Major's keeping it. He's got a little bit of room. He's got enough for the first down, and sort of off balance, falling forward and struggling forward. He picks up not only enough for the first down, but gets down inside the 10-yard line. So it'll be 1st and goal for the Notre Dame Titans. Carver stops him, but Major keeps his balance long enough to squeeze that baby down inside the 10-yard line. So now Notre Dame, with 4 tries at the goal line, deep in Green territory. Major is going to give it off to Collins, and Collins going to drive down to about the 5, maybe even the 4-yard line.
Down to about the 5-yard line, where it'll bring up 2nd down.
Brought down over there by Darnell, as Tyler Darnell does the stopping. And so it'll be 2nd and goal.
On the play by number 7, Tyler Darnell.
From the 5-yard line. High school football on the Zone, sent your way by all the Zone Country locations of Atomic Credit Union, by H. Powell Insurance in New Boston, and by Minix's Giovanni's on the west side with 2 locations. And a big crowd in there, but some gain gotten down to about the 2 or 3 yard line.
Got the ball down to about the 3-yard line.
And Phillips does a pretty good job of squeezing it down in there in the midst of heavy traffic. So it'll be 3rd and goal from about the distance you would expect for an extra point try. So 2 more shots at it for the Titans. The official, of course, with the rain, hanging on to the ball to the last possible second.
From the 3-yard line.
Jonathan Major, the quarterback, under center.
Major under center.
Straight ahead, good blocking in there by Notre Dame. It's going to be really close to the goal.
Peyton Phillips once again was the ball carrier.
On the stop there for Green that time was Bush.
44, Nick Sexton. That'll bring up 4th down. Goal to go from the half.
And so Notre Dame, 1 more shot here. They've got to get it about 18 inches to score. About a football and a half is all they have to go. So Major, the senior, will call things. He's going to give it on the left side to Kaiser, or Collins, excuse me. Collins with a 1-yard drive. And Notre Dame draws first blood, our first score of the night. Sent your way by Thomas Jefferson Davis for 90th District State Representative. So Notre Dame takes the lead with 5:45 to go in the first quarter, as they take over on downs and put together a 40-yard drive. The kick is up and good. And as we come back up the field, Notre Dame 7, Green nothing. Back with a kickoff right after this.
At Desco, we believe loans to small businesses result in stronger communities. We believe the experience and ability to make local decisions awards you the home field advantage. We believe quick decisions and straightforward answers are what you need to get started. At Desco, we have terms to fit your business. Desco Federal Credit Union. We make business loans.
For tonight's game,
Welcome back to Spartan Stadium. Notre Dame scores first in this SOC Division I contest as Michael Collins goes in from the 1-yard line and caps a drive that took 40 yards and, importantly for Notre Dame, used 5 minutes and 6 seconds off the clock. So a sustained drive of 5 minutes there. For the Titans, the kick is good, and Notre Dame leads 7-0 with 5:45 to play here in quarter number 1. As Notre Dame will again show us a line drive one, and it's going to be fallen on quickly. And falling on it down there for Green was Trevor Carver. And that'll give Green the ball on their own 30-yard line.
Take over at their 30-yard line.
With no time really off the clock there.
Other
as Green will start out on their second offensive possession of the night. They lost the ball on downs after taking the opening kickoff. You're watching high school football on the Zone, presented by Portsmouth Cinema 8, the Roger W. Davis Funeral Home, and the Salvation Army. Here come the Bobcats, and they're going to go to the man in motion and finding some room up through there for 2 or 3 yards that time.
52, Aaron Basler, and 75, Charlie
and squeezing his way up through there for Green was Storms, Brady Storms. Storms went in motion. The 5'8" senior coming into this ball game had carried the ball 71 times for 511 yards. And a pickup of a couple is going to make it, well, not really a gain.
They did gain 2 yards on the play.
I'm looking to see where this.
That'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
They have not moved. Now the reason I couldn't tell because they hadn't moved the stick. And so Green under center puts a man in motion again. And again they go to the man in motion, and this time moving forward with it is Tyler Darnell.
Number of Notre Dame tacklers.
Up to about the 35-yard line. And the fumble, and it looks like Notre Dame has recovered the ball.
It looks like number 1, Hayden Phillips, was the guy off the bottom of the
Phillips recovers a fumble for Notre Dame, and the Titans will take over in great field position again with 4:53 to go here in the first quarter. They've got the ball on the Green 35. They took over last time on the 40, so a turnover proving costly and giving it to Notre Dame, and a little bit of reverse action on the double side, and down and going for the trick play and moving it in as Johnson takes the double reverse and heads to the left and scoots his way down through there on the old Dipsy Doodle play. And so with 4:43 to go, a 10-second one-play drive, and Notre Dame finds themselves up 13-0. Johnson, a 35-yard TD. As Notre Dame capitalizes quickly on the turnover by the Bobcats. And they will try to make it 14 here as the kick is upwards, and it is good. As Drew Cassidy has now made it 14 for Notre Dame. And Notre Dame up by 2 touchdowns as we are at the 4:43 mark of the first quarter. Our touchdown sent your way by Thomas Jefferson Davis for 90th District Representative. And we'll be back with a kickoff from Spartan Stadium right after this.
You walk in, they have a big smile on their face, and it's genuine. It's not fake, and I hate fake, and it's just really nice. And
it's just an experience that they've got this customer service down to a science. And like I say, you're talking to a guy for the last 20 years has been in sales and knows how customer service is supposed to work. Glockner's has got it down to a science.
You feel special when you walk in. You feel special.
Their commercials, they're not lying when they make it easy.
So Notre Dame tries the old misdirection play, a one-play 35-yard drive. Isaiah Johnson takes it in. 10 seconds is all it takes, and Notre Dame leads now by the score of 14-0 as we're in the first quarter here at Spartan Stadium. Our ball game presented to you by your hometown university, Shawnee State University. All the Zone Country locations of Sunspot Tanning, and by Barrett and Murphin Insurance. Bouncing kick, taking about the 28-yard lane and moving forward with it again. For Green is Trevor Carver, as he's fielded a couple of them now. And Green, with 4:40 to go here in the first quarter, has the ball
Wagner Rental Supply. They are
on the 35-yard line, on their own 35.
Paint machines so that we can line the field.
Still a little bit of rain coming down here.
A real big thank you to the Wagner
and here
Supply
come
people
the Bobcats
for their assistance in helping us carry out these games.
Man in motion. Going to be a pitch, and Notre Dame covers that baby hard as they were going for storms. As Phillips was all over that play.
A fine tackle made by number
and so a loss of 2, we'll call it 2nd and 12 for the Bobcats. 4:10 to go here in quarter number 1. You're watching high school football in the zone, sent your way by Bob Evans of New Boston, by Randy Mattis Motors, home of the lifetime warranty, and by Sherman Cricker Insurance. Thanks to our sponsors, and thanks to you for being there. In motion, once again, goes Darnell. They keep it a little closer to the vest that time. Storms moves forward. He's tackled over there by Sparks.
That is going to be a gain of
maybe a half a yard on that.
That's going to bring up 3rd and 12.
So about 3rd and 11 or 12. Long 11, short 12 for the Bobcats. Bobcats coming in with a record of 2-5. First-year head coach Ted Newsom. Not his first year coaching, obviously. If you are familiar with Southern Ohio football, you know that Ted has been around for a long while. Trips to the right. And moving to pass and finding a man open.
Oh, almost intercepted.
And almost picked that
Isaiah
time,
Johnson.
as Johnson was right there.
It'll bring up 4th down and 12.
And so the Bobcats, again with 4th down, and as I mentioned, Coach Newsom pointing out that because of injuries and things like that, they do not have much in the way of a kicking game. So we will probably see the Bobcats go for this here, 4th and long, deep in their own end of the field. They're on their own 34-yard line. And sure enough, he sends trips out to the right. And again, Gaffney dropping.
Back to pass was number 5, Gaffney. His throw was incomplete.
And it falls incomplete, so Notre Dame will take over for the second time tonight. Green will give up the ball on downs in their own end of the field, and so Notre Dame will take over with 3 minutes exactly left there in the first quarter. And they'll get the ball again in great position. This entire game has been played on the green end of the football field. It'll be the 33-yard line.
Notre Dame Titans ball, 1st down at the Green Bobcats.
And here come the Titans. Major has 2 men to the left. He puts Collins in motion, and they go, and it looks like it's loose.
On the pitch from Michael
as they were pitching to Collins, and it looks like Green has come up with the ball on the fumble recovery, and recovering it there for Green was Wyatt Blevins.
By number 19, Wyatt Blevins. It'll be Green.
So Blevins recovers the fumble for Green, and Green will get the ball right back with 2:57 to go here in quarter number 1.
The Knights of Columbus.
On that, they gained about 4 or 5 yards as they get it on their own 37.
Toyota Foundation and Subway. Eat fresh.
So the Bobcats going straight ahead. Nice opening in there. Good blocks by the green line, and moving out is Blevins. He'll be run out of bounds just about a yard into Notre Dame territory. That'll be Green's first down of the night. And this will be the first play that will come up on the Notre Dame end of the football field.
Bobcats at the 50-yard line.
As actually they're going to mark that baby just the nose of it at midfield. So the Bobcats pick up their first down. A little more room at their back. And they're going to go to the man in motion again. As Darnell goes forward, and he does reach Notre Dame territory down to about the 47, 48-yard line. We'll call it the 48. That's where they're going to set the ball. So it'll be 2nd and 8 for the Green Bobcats. You're watching high school football on the Zone, sent your way by Oak Tree Construction, by Jackpot Skilled Stop Games, by Gutter Pro, and by Goodwill. Again, man in motion, the dive straight ahead that time to the up back. As Blevins gets across the 45 down to about the 43-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and short, about 2 or 3 yards to go for the Bobcats. Blevins 116 carries coming into this game, 569 yards, as the Bobcats have 2 backs that have over 500 yards on the season. Wide receiver on either side. Back in motion. They go straight ahead again to the fullback.
Up the middle again to number 19.
Blevins picks up maybe 1 or 2 yards, and that's going to make it 4th down.
4th down and 2 from the Notre Dame
for the Green Bobcats, and the ball is just about a yard, maybe a yard and a half away from, well, let's see where they set it. Make it 2. From the sticks. Clock's working with 1:17 to go here in quarter number 1. Notre Dame leading by the score of 14-0. And the Bobcats offering up plays here on Notre Dame's end of the field. Wingman on the right. And it's going to be taken by the quarterback, and he's going to have plenty for the first down. Ryan Gaffney takes it forward, and Green gets their second first down of the drive.
Ryan Gaffney on the quarterback.
And Gaffney moving right ahead.
He only needed 2, so that is a Green Bobcat first down.
Gaffney coming into this ball game had carried 42 times for 78 yards.
Underneath the stadium are open.
His longest game, 15 on the season.
Cold pot, pizza, hot dogs. And it goes to benefit the Notre Dame swim team.
Wide receivers either way. Man in motion. Again, they're going to go to Blevins. Blevins is going to move forward for a yard, 19, maybe.
Blevins on the carry. He tries
first man on the scene, Charlie Eichenlaub, wraps
bring
and brings him down with 27 seconds to go in the first quarter. So we're pretty close to being a fourth of the way home here at Spartan Stadium.
Tackle on the play was by number 62.
And down to 17 seconds. And
Hunter
Green
Harrell in the game, number 33.
We'll probably let the ball run to the quarter mark. Let's see if they come up. The officials are standing there, and that's going to be it for the first quarter. We're 1/4 of the way home here at Spartan Stadium. The score, Notre Dame 14, Green nothing. Back with quarter number 2 right after this.
King's Daughters Medical Center Ohio is working to provide health care that raises the bar with experienced physicians you know, like gastroenterologist Charles Wong, treating digestive issues at our new hospital. Our advanced diagnostic equipment and passionate attention to detail allows every possibility to be explored in order to find the best treatments available. King's Daughters Medical Center Ohio is a team dedicated to world-class health care for Portsmouth.
Welcome back to Spartan Stadium. There you see the Notre Dame Titans getting some instruction. You're watching high school football. As we start quarter number 2, it'll be 2nd down and 9 to go for the Green Bobcats on the Notre Dame 38-yard line. Notre Dame up 14-0. High school football on the Zone sent your way by King's Daughters Medical Center, Ohio, by Sweet Confections Bakery in Barbersville, by all the Zone Country locations of Desco Federal Credit Union, by ADS Auto and Tire, and by Brian Davis for Scioto County Commissioner. Thanks to our sponsors and thanks to you for being there. Green, again, closes out the season with 2 home games, and Notre Dame likewise in mirroring that schedule as they mirror the schedule as they'll host Sims Valley here next week. We'll have that game for you a week from tonight here on the Zone, and then they'll close out the season with the traditional last game against East, and we likewise will be on hand here at Spartan Stadium for that one as well. So 2nd and 9 as we start quarter number 2. The Bobcats will put a man in motion, and they will pitch to that man, and it's loose. And it's still loose, and Notre Dame picks it up, and they're going to run with it. The man did not fall on it easily, and moving out and on down the field, untouched. C.J. Smith scores a touchdown on the fumble recovery as he scooted right down through there. That will be about a 62-yard fumble recovery as C.J. Smith did not look like he ought to be wearing a number that begins with a 5. He was really pouring on the heat as he headed down that right side. Ball was pitched to the green back, and it was loose, and the green back tried to grab it with his arms instead of falling on it and cuddling it. Cassidy's kick is up, and it's good, and as we come back up the field, Notre Dame on another turnover now has 21, and Green has nothing. Back with the kickoff right after this.
Minford Telephone and TV, real people who love this community. They're your one-stop shop on that you can bet. They bundle TV, phone, and high-speed internet. Affordability, dependability, just try and you will see. The local choice, the best choice. Minford Telephone and TV. The local choice, the best choice. Minford Telephone and TV.
Welcome back to Spartan Stadium, where Notre Dame has taken a 21-0 lead with 11:46 to go, just starting here in the second quarter, as C.J. Smith pops onto a fumble, picks it up and scoots down the right side. A 62-yard fumble recovery, and Notre Dame now leads by the score of 21-0. That touchdown, by the way, sent your way by Thomas Jefferson Davis for 90th District State Representative. The Titans will kick off again. This one is an end-over-ender that's going to be picked up at the 20-yard line, moving forward to about the 28, and a big tackle in there by Kaiser. Kaiser takes the man down as Storms tries to return it, and Kaiser just whacks into him at full speed. And so Green will get the ball with 11:42 to go here in the half.
8-yard line, first down and 10.
Trailing 21-0, and they'll set the ball on the Green 28-yard line. Green on their last drive had put together 2 first downs, but a bad pitch. The pitch was actually almost a pass, as the runner actually looked like he was in front of the quarterback. And then he did not fall on it. And as a result, it was picked up by Smith.
Illegal procedure on the Green Bobcats.
And the Bobcats pick up a penalty. That's the first penalty of the night.
First down, but now 15 yards.
So a 5-yard penalty against Green. And that'll make it first and 15.
Notre Dame tennis team is
high school football on the Zone, sent your way by Rallies in Portsmouth, by Osco Industries, and Jason Bentley, your Midland representative. Man in motion. The ball is loose again, and it looks like Darnell has fallen on it.
But was able to get back on it at the 25.
Collins about ready to get in there and grab it.
3 yards.
Green has had a hard time finding the handle on the ball tonight.
Second down and about 13.
Notre Dame likewise has turned it over one time as Blevins recovered a fumble with 2:57 to go in the first quarter. So now the Bobcats again. Second down at about 12.
We've got a mix-up in the backfield.
And a little pitch, actually a little pass.
Fine play by
out to about the 27-yard line as it's completed on a little end-over-end, kind of a wounded pheasant pass there as it went to Tyler Darnell.
A third down and 14 yards for the Green Bobcats.
So now third down and long for the Bobcats, as they are deep in their own territory. High school football sent your way by Life Medical Response, by Pro Pest Control, and by Bob and Floyd's Tire Service. Thanks to our sponsors. Thanks to you for being there. Wide receiver left, trips to the right, and lots of time to throw. That one over, everybody.
Pass by
Johnson made a leap trying to get a hand on it, but it was a little bit too much out of his grasp as well. So now Green finds themselves again in a fourth down situation.
To Brody Storms, but there's going to be a personal foul, looks like, on Notre Dame.
And there is a flag down, and again, it's going to be a personal foul, our second penalty of the night. Against the Titans this time. A 15-yarder. So we went through the first quarter with no penalties at all. Now a 15-yarder. That will set the ball down on the 38-yard line.
With that penalty, the Green Bobcats will
first
have
down
the ball
for the Bobcats.
38-yard line. They are
a little more room to their back
right now.
And before we go any further, Green calls timeout with 10 minutes exactly left in the first half. Notre Dame's ahead 21-0. Back after this.
A night of family entertainment awaits you at the Portsmouth Cinema 8. We're always improving. More games, better movies, delicious concessions, online ticket sales, and updates on Facebook as well. To make your experience better, we now have all 8 theaters in digital DLP with Dolby Surround Sound. Plus, you can watch your next digital 3D movie here. All the entertainment you need at Portsmouth Cinema 8. Movies will never be the same again.
Welcome back to Spartan Municipal Stadium. We have exactly 10 minutes to go here in the first half. The Notre Dame Titans honoring their 67 and 70 state championship teams tonight. One of the ways they're doing that is with the throwback jerseys there. Tonight is also homecoming at Notre Dame, and honoring the Queen and her court here at Notre Dame High School this evening.
Don't forget the concession stands
homecoming queen,
the stadium.
Emily Baker, the daughter of Shane and Michelle Baker of Portsmouth, a member of the swim team and co-captain of the tennis team.
So,
also a member of the National Honor Society. So congratulations to Queen Emily.
And we're back to the game.
As Green is back at it now. And the fling. And the ball incomplete.
Intended for number 7,
and
Darnell, broken up
that
by
will be
2,
make it a
Sam
second down and
Kaiser.
10 to go.
That'll bring up a second down and 10.
For the Green Bobcats. Green coming into this game at 2-5. Common opponents that these two teams have faced this year include the Manchester Greyhounds.
Second down and 10 for the Green Bobcats.
And more of that in a moment. And up through the inside, across the 40. Blevins will be dropped there as he'll be stopped on the carry by Collins.
So we're going to call it 3rd and 7 for Green at their
So the Bobcats, 3rd and 7 coming up at them. Common opponents so far this year, Manchester,
play was made by number
Green,
69, Evan Carell.
And Notre Dame, both playing Manchester and both playing Northwest. Of course, the SOC 1, they eventually will play all the teams in the SOC 1, but right now just two common opponents. Manchester not in the SOC1, but a common opponent. And again, a bad pitch. And the ball is loose. Picked up by Notre Dame again. Moving down with it is Michael Collins. Collins picks it up about the 35-yard line. Michael Collins.
Back at the 10-yard line.
A 35-yard return, but there is a flag down about the 10. Let's see what we got going here. On the ground and getting up slowly was Brady Storms. See what Bernie Hensley has to say here as he's coming out, and we'll get his picture. Here he comes. Personal foul against Green.
The touchdown for Notre Dame does count.
The touchdown is good. A 35-yard fumble return by Michael Collins at 5:04 of the first half. Puts Notre Dame up now 27-0. There was a personal foul against Green during the dead ball period after the touchdown, so Cassidy will kick as Major puts it down, and Cassidy puts it through. Touchdown sent your way by Thomas Jefferson Davis for 90th District State Representative. Kick is good, and with 9:04 to go here in the first half, Notre Dame leads 28-0. Back with a kickoff right after this.
The library isn't just a source for books anymore. We are activities. We are local history and genealogy. We are entertainment. We are DVDs and books on CD. We are online. We are education. We are mobile. We are everywhere. We are still books and reading. We are here for our community. We are here for you.
We are the Portsmouth Public Library.
I love the library.
Is an unsportsmanlike personal foul against.
Welcome back to Spartan Stadium.
And
there you see the Green Bobcats getting some tutelage from Coach John Bourne and Coach Ted Newsom there in the background as they find themselves on the short end of a 28-0 score, and Notre Dame taking advantage of several miscues by the Bobcats on that particular one, a fumble on the pitch, as Green has had some problems getting that pitch going their direction tonight. The way the ball game started, Green lost the ball on downs. Notre Dame took the ball at 10:51 and put together a 5-minute, 6-second drive. Collins drove it across, and Notre Dame led 7-0 at 5:45 to go. Cassidy will kick off from the Green 45. It is a long one that's going to be taken about the 8.
5-yard line by number 4, Brody Storms, and he is tackled at the Notre Dame.
Storms moves forward
17-yard line
to about the 17 or 18-yard line,
and
that's where Green will start.
Peyton Crock.
So with 8:58 to go here in the first half, the Bobcats will get it again, and on their own 18-yard line. As the Bobcats come out, wide receiver on the left, one on the right. Man in motion.
18-yard line.
They're going to give that time to Storms.
Snuffed out by a host of players. Coming off the pile is.
And a pickup of about 2 or 3 on that will make it second down and 7 or 8 for the Bobcats. You're watching a high school football on the zone, sent your way by Streaver Mortgage, by the Battery Terminal, by the Glockner family of dealerships, and Donnie Martin Heating and Cooling. Thanks to our sponsors, and thanks to you for being there as well.
20-yard line.
Bobcats now with a second, and we'll call it 8. Man in motion again, and they're going to give again to the man in motion, and he's going to get tripped up in the backfield, grabbing his ankles that time, and pulling him down that time for Notre Dame was Jesse Carroll.
Jesse Carroll,
who grabbed him around the ankles and stopped anything from happening there that time. Exactly 8 minutes to go here in the first half of play. Don't forget at halftime, the Trinidad Orthopedic and Sports Medicine halftime report. Notre Dame sitting on top of a 4-touchdown lead right now. And miscues have been more or less the order of the day here.
3rd down and 8 for the Green Bobcats at their own 20-yard line.
And the Bobcats go under center. They put a man in motion. And a little reverse on a counter, and Storms doesn't find any room at all.
4 on the carrier, Brody Storms. The stop was made by number 2.
He is hit pretty hard by Kaiser.
Bringing up a 4th down and 12.
Also in on it was Lansing. And so it's going to be 3rd down and long for the Bobcats. High school football sent your way by Furman's Orchard, by Stoltz Pharmacy in Wheelersburg, by Lightning Lube, and by the Wheelersburg Cinema. Thanks to our sponsors, and thanks to you for being there. And stretching it out again, the halfback pass. This one is picked. Another turnover, and Phillips is driven out of bounds before he can score, but he returns that ball a pretty good distance down inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line. So once again, turnovers are haunting the Bobcats as the halfback pass from Darnell is picked. And the interception gives Notre Dame the ball. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. .6:34 to play here in the first half.
John Major under center.
Major will spin, dive play straight ahead, and driving hard and falling into the end zone for a touchdown while carrying a tackler. As Kaiser, with a strong demonstration of running right there, as he carried the tackler was trying to bring Kaiser down around the shoulders. And that just doesn't work a lot of times with a powerful runner. So with 6:29, Notre Dame once again converts on a turnover as Kaiser scores from 8 yards out.
Drew Cassidy to
a 5-second one-play drive.
Major holding. The kick's up.
And the score with 6:29 to go. Notre Dame 35 and Green nothing. That touchdown sent your way by Thomas Jefferson Davis for 90th District State Representative. And we'll be back with the kickoff right after this.
In this moment, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes or if your neighbor has the same insurance that you do. What matters right now is the quality of your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them. Auto Owners Insurance.
Howell Insurance Agency, serving you for over 75 years.
Welcome back to Spartan Stadium. There you see Notre Dame. They have just scored their 35th point. And again, a turnover puts some points on the board for them.
Hollywood Hair.
Pass was picked. And then Kaiser, an 8-yard run, a one-play, and a 5-second drive. The kick by Cassidy is good. And with 6.5 minutes to play in the first half, Notre Dame leads by the score of 35-0. Bobcats stepping up, getting ready to receive another kickoff. Cassidy will approach the ball, and this one is a line drive that's going to be picked up
by number 5.
And on his way up through there, Gaffney gets out to about the 30-yard line, so Green will get another shot at it with 6:23 to go.
Number 24.
They'll have the ball on their own 30-yard line.
Malt. Number 5, Peyton Crock.
So high school football coming your way here on the zone. Sent your way
Green Bobcat
by Terry
ball at
Johnson
their own
for
30-yard
90th
line.
District State Representative. By Staker
down.
Sales and Service on 9th Street in Portsmouth. By Rudity's Driving School. And by Portsmouth Cement and Lime. Thanks to our sponsors, and thanks to you for being there. Green.
Ball's handed off up the middle. He was hit in the backfield by number 65.
Not able to
but
get much out of
spun
that.
away. Tackle looks like might have been made by
Maybe a
number of
half a
Titans.
yard
Evan
on
Correll, 69.
play.
Tyson Montgomery, number 7. That was Tyler Darnell on the carry.
As Darnell gets maybe a half a
Second down
yard.
and 9 for the Green Bobcats.
Notre Dame, again, will have 2 home games in a row to close out the season. We'll have them both here on the zone. Sims Valley a week from tonight, and then the East Tartans. Full house backfield,
Handoff
off
up the
tackle
middle to
play.
number 19.
Blevins picks up a
Wyatt
couple or
Blevins
3. He'll get out
picks
to
up about
around
3 yards on the play. It's gonna bring
around
up
the
third
35-yard
down,
line.
and it looks like about 6 or 7.
Now they're going to
Cameron
place it down
Rodriguez,
about a
number
yard short of
24,
that on about the
entering the game.
34. So it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Bobcats.
65, Jesse Carroll coming out. 3rd down and 7.
Again, a full house backfield, keeping the basics in there right now on this series. And straight ahead, a little
Ball
dive
again
to the
is
fullback.
handed off up the middle to number 19.
Blevins
Wyatt
will pick up a
Blevins,
yard or
tackled on the
2.
play by number 12, Michael Collins.
And he gets the
52,
ball
Aaron Basler.
finally marked. They're
There
going
is
to
a
mark it
flag
out
on
there
the play.
on about the 37, but there is a flag dropped on that one. And hit to the head, apparently. Charged against Notre Dame.
There will be a party up at NDCC
So they
up at
will-
the high school after the game.
They
They will be
will
watching
give
the Notre Dame
Green a first down.
Fighting Irish ball
on the
game
penalty.
tonight that starts at 8 o'clock.
So Notre Dame
That was
gives up
personal
a
foul
long
on Notre
penalty
Dame,
there, and it's a
15
first
yards,
down
knocks the ball off
for
to the
Green
Notre Dame
in Notre Dame
47,
territory.
First down and 10 for the Green Bobcats.
Bobcats will come up. Full house backfield one more time. And this time they go to the right halfback as he moves left off tackle and moving forward across the 45 down to about the 44-yard line.
On top of him.
Tons and tons of Notre Dame flesh there on top of the pile. It'll be a pickup of about 2 or 3, make it second down. Well, maybe 4 by the time they get it done. So that'll make it second down and about 6 or 7 to go for the Bobcats. Ball placed down around the 43-yard line. Straight ahead this time. A hat comes off. So somebody's playing out there without a hat. And we'll see who comes up there. Oh, a flag afterwards as we're unpiling. So we'll see what that one was about. That flag came out in the unpiling period.
Went for about
and a pickup of 2 or 3, but we don't know what's the, as the officials will discuss things here. And we'll see which way what goes. The flag again thrown, and it looks like it's going against the Bobcats. Generally speaking, thrown that late in the deal, it's going to be some kind of major penalty, and indeed it is.
The flag was for a dead ball personal foul against
so
the Green
personal
Bobcats,
foul
which marches the ball back 15 yards.
Push them back now to the 40.
After the play, so that's going to bring up
40,
a third down
about
now.
the 42-yard line of the Bobcats, so they're back
And
on their own
about
end of the
19
field, down on the
yards,
northern
it looks
end.
like.
Still some light rain falling around the area. You can tell by the number of umbrellas in the stands that we haven't quite given up on the rain yet. It is a lot lighter than it was earlier in the evening. And again, off tackle left side and moving forward across the 45 out to about the 47-yard line. Brady Storms, the 5'8 senior, will make it 4th and 15 for the Bobcats.
Tackle by number 12, Michael Collins.
Collins brings him down, and the Bobcats,
for the Green Bobcats at the
who need to
Green
get all the way
47-yard
down
line.
to
3
the
minutes
Notre
left
Dame
in the second quarter.
38-yard line to get a first down. A little bit less than 3 minutes to go here in half number 1 from Spartan Stadium. Notre Dame up 35-0. Titans trying to pick up their second W of the season. Green trying to pick up their third. Again, full house backfield, and again, off
Number
tackle
4.
they go to Storms.
Brody Storms, the
And
ball
he
carrier
is
on the
not
play.
going to get very much
Pick
there,
up of
so
only
that's going
about a
to
yard.
turn it over on downs again.
Tackle made by number 62.
And
Harrison Bianco,
that's the
and
kind
number
of thing that
75,
shows you
Charlie
when you
Eichenlaub.
are having a
It'll be
problem
Notre Dame's ball, first
with your
down
kicking game,
at the Green Bobcat,
that
48-yard
it
line.
doesn't give you very much flexibility here. So
2
with
minutes and
2:33 to
30
go
approximately
in the
left
first
second
half,
quarter.
Notre Dame will
Dame
take
up
over on the green
35-0.
end of the football field as they will mark that baby down about the green 48.
Jonathan Major under
Major brings
center.
his team up.
Hands
Go
off
with a
to
little
Michael Collins.
reverse from the
Michael
wingman
Collins
on the
looks like
right.
He picks up about 2 yards on the
He'll
play,
be brought
to
down over
about
there
the
for Green
47.
by Noah Roberts.
Tackle by number 25,
Pickup of a couple.
Noah Roberts.
As the Titans find themselves sitting on top of a pretty good lead with not much time left in the half. And in high school football in Ohio this year, if you're ahead by 30 in the second half, the clock runs,
2 minutes
unless, of
left
course,
to go
there is
in
a
the
score or a
second
timeout.
quarter before halftime.
Wide receiver out to the left, a wingman on either side. One of them goes in motion. They go straight ahead. Nice, straight ahead. Nobody was covering the middle, and Kaiser is going to take that baby all the way. 48-yard run by Jack Kaiser, or excuse me, by Sam Kaiser. Sam Kaiser, a 48-yard run. That touchdown sent your way by Thomas Jefferson Davis for 90th District State Representative. And with 1:45 to go here in the first half, Notre Dame wastes little time. A 58-second drive. It doesn't take much at all. Cassidy's kick.
Drew Cassidy's kick.
And we
was
got
up and
flags
good, so it
down.
looks
Flag.
like we had
A
a flag on the
Offside
play.
against the defense.
Offside Green. Lined up in the neutral zone. Hey, stick around. Don't run off
And
at halftime. We've got our homecoming celebration.
while we discuss what's going on here, as they'll go
Kathy Miller
half the
will be doing
distance,
the announcing of the homecoming event, so don't run off.
and Cassidy will get another shot at it. Major's placement is
Cassidy
down.
takes another shot
Cassidy's
at it,
kick
and it
is
up
up.
and good.
And
6
it's
for
good.
Drew Cassidy tonight.
And with 1:45 to go here in the first half, Notre Dame leads 42-0. Back with the kickoff right after this.
Here at the Roger W. Davis Funeral Home, we are not only here for you in your time of need, but we're also here to help our neighbor, to serve our community, and to help guide our youth. We do our best each day to make our area a great place to call home, and each year we give you a time to gather and remember your loved ones. To all area teams in the upcoming sports season, remember, the difference between impossible and possible lies in your determination. Good luck from all of us at the Roger W. Davis Funeral Home.
There are parts of the uniform, like
Welcome
on the helmets,
back
that
to
allowing
Spartan
the state
Stadium.
championship team
Notre Dame
67-70.
leading by the score of 42-0. As Coach Ashley's crew on top now by 6 touchdowns, and turnovers have been a key item here. As Notre Dame has scored pretty much at will But Green has advanced the ball some, so we'll see what happens here. We have 1 minute and 45 seconds to go in half number 1. Don't forget at halftime, it's the Trinidad Orthopedic and Sports Medicine halftime report. Our ball game tonight brought to you by Minford Telephone and TV, by the UPS store on 11th Street, by PNC Bank, and by Bob Evans of New Boston. Coming forward with it now is Storms. Storms gets up to about the 28-30 yard line.
Ball with 1 minute and 47 seconds left in the second quarter. They take over at the 29-yard line. We want to give a big shout out
and
to
so the
Stephanie
Bobcats
Malone. It's her birthday, I believe.
On the
tomorrow.
30-yard line.
Stephanie Malone, 21 years old as of tomorrow. Big 21.
So it'll be first and 10 for the Green Bobcats.
Okay, it may
Green,
be just a
like
tad
Notre
older than
Dame,
that.
closes out their season at home. Wide receiver to the right, one to the left. Backs in a full house. Straight ahead, a little dive, and moving and bouncing off there. Blevins continues on his feet and picks up a couple or three after initial contact. Good second effort that time by Blevins.
Grant Sparks, number 10, and maybe Brandon Lansing.
Blevins 5'9" and only a
It's
junior.
going to bring up second down and 7 for the Green Bobcats at the Green Bobcat 38-yard
So a
line.
good additional effort there for him.
33-yard line.
Clock will continue to run as we approach the 1 minute mark.
1 minute left to go in the second quarter. Once again,
High school
we've got
football on the
halftime
zone.
Festivities coming up, so don't run off.
Sent your way by King's Daughters Medical Center, Ohio. And Thomas Jefferson Davis for 90th District
Handoff
State
once
Representative.
again was kinda up the middle.
Lots and
Down
lots
to
of
the
Titans
outside,
around
tackled
that
by
football.
about 4 different Notre Dame
As,
players. Michael Collins getting up off the pile.
Blevins
Number
comes
10,
up out of
Grant
there
Sparks, number 52,
after
Aaron
having been
Lasler,
buried by
and
4
number
or 5 of the
54,
Titans. That's
TJ
going to make it a
Smith.
third down.
It is now
And
third
about
down
8 to
and
go.
7.
25 seconds to go in the half. We'll see if Green tries to pull off another play before the end of the half. And as they approach 8 seconds, I don't think they'll get there. I think we're halfway home, and that's the way things are going to be. It's halftime here at historic Spartan Stadium, and the score is Notre Dame 42 and the Green Bobcats nothing. Stay tuned for the Trinidad Orthopedic and Sports Medicine halftime report, and we'll be back with more right after this.
Peter 10:17.
Ruth 2:11.
James 11:9.
When I was hungry. When I was lost. When I was stoned.
You gave me help,
Faith.
joy.
You gave me a chance. Amanda 4:6. When I was saved.
Your holiday donations to the Salvation Army make change all year long.
And welcome back to Spartan Stadium. It's homecoming night here at Notre Dame High School. Notre Dame leads at halftime by the score of 42-0 over the Green Bobcats. And on homecoming, lots of activities going on in the Notre Dame community. It's throwback night honoring the 67-70 state high school championship football teams. And also homecoming night, of course. They introduce at halftime, as you see in the cars there, they are parading around the stadium with the attendants. Fourth attendant, Allison Ware, the daughter of Robert Ware of Sciotaville and Christine Ware of Portsmouth, member of the Notre Dame softball team and a co-captain of the tennis team. Third attendant is Tori Vaught. Tori's the daughter of Al and Rhonda Vaught of Portsmouth, a member of the tennis team and a former member of the volleyball team. Second attendant, Megha Patel. Megha is the daughter of Satish and Bidya Patel of Portsmouth. She's a member of the softball team and co-captain of varsity volleyball, also the president of the National Honor Society. First attendant, Maggie Hoover, daughter of Mary Hoover of Portsmouth, member of the basketball team and co-captain of the varsity volleyball. And then the Queen, as we mentioned earlier, honoring Emily Baker daughter of Shane and Michelle Baker of Portsmouth. She's a member of the swim team, co-captain of the tennis team, and in addition to that, she's a member of the National Honor Society. So congratulations to the Queen and attendance here at Notre Dame Homecoming in 2014. It's halftime here. We're on the Trinidad Orthopedic and Sports Medicine halftime report. And Notre Dame leads at halftime 42-0. Green started out, lost the ball on downs. Notre Dame took advantage of that. 10:51 starting from the Green 40. Put together 2 first downs, then Collins scored following a 5-minute, 6 seconds drive. Notre Dame led 7-0. Green took the ensuing kickoff and on the series fumbled. And then Notre Dame took that one, and Johnson ran 35 yards for the TD, as then it was 14-0. Green took the ball for their third possession on their own 35, lost the ball on downs, as Coach Newsom was telling us that they do not have a punting game that they can rely on because of injuries and so on. So they're having to pretty much go for it on fourth down every time. They lost it on downs. Notre Dame took the ball at 3 minutes to go in the first quarter on the Green 33, and the Titans fumbled. Blevins recovered for Green, and Green then started another drive on their own 37, put together a couple of first downs, went around the corner into the second quarter, and fumble. Recovered for a 62-yard return by C.J. Smith. At the 11:46 mark of the quarter, put Notre Dame up following Cassidy's kick, 21-0. Green's next possession, they picked up a first down but were unable to convert. In fact, what happened was Michael Collins returned a 35-yard fumble recovery, and Notre Dame was up 28-0 following Cassidy's kick. Green then took their next drive, and a turnover haunted them again as they were picked, and Notre Dame ended up following the pick on the 8-yard line. Kaiser took it in a one-play, 5-second drive, and Notre Dame was up at that point 35-0. Green took the ball, drove it, lost on downs following picking up one first down. And then from the Green 48, Sam Kaiser took the ball 48 yards, and that put Notre Dame up 42-0, and that's where we went to halftime. You're on the Trinidad Orthopedic and Sports Medicine halftime report, and we'll be back with more from homecoming activities here at Notre Dame, Green and Notre Dame, and we'll be back right after this.
The sun is always shining at Sunspot Tanning Salons. We are your #1 source for that deeper, darker, lasting tan, and not just during summer, all year long. Our high-tech equipment gives you that perfect coloring by offering quality tanning in a clean, cool, and controlled environment for everyone from beginners and beyond. Excellent up-to-date products and various locations with convenient hours. You won't have to wait for the sun to look fine.
Welcome to the Sunspot, where the sun always shines.
Welcome back to Spartan Stadium. Our halftime report has been presented by Trinidad Orthopedic and Sports Medicine. And don't forget the clinic every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. The Bobcats will be defending the North Goal. That's the one to our left. They are in the green uniforms. Notre Dame in the white jerseys and gold pants. And Green's first kickoff of the night is going to die about the 21 and picked up. And carrying it forward and getting a lot of room, Notre Dame is bringing the ball up. And they're going to get across midfield and finally driven out of bounds. Collins gets out about the 38-yard line as Collins does a great return on that one as that ball died about the 22. And so about a 39-yard return as Notre Dame with 11:31 to go here. And again, the rule in Ohio high school football this year
first down at the Green Bobcat, 39
is that if a team is ahead by more than 30 points, 30 or more, the clock will run except on scores and official timeouts and timeouts.
Phillips in motion.
And
Ball handed off to Sam Kaiser.
Kaiser on the right, a lot of room. He has a lot of room down on that right side and still on his feet. He cuts back to his left, and he is going to score a 39-yard run for Kaiser
a Notre Dame score.
on the first play from scrimmage of this half. As Kaiser goes to the right, then cuts back. He was grabbed several times by defenders.
39-yard.
And Notre Dame stretches their lead now to 48-0.
With Drew Cassidy.
Drew Cassidy will stand up, getting ready to kick the ball for the extra point. So far tonight, he is perfect on the evening from the kicking game standpoint.
The ball is up.
And still is. So with 10:56 to go here in the third quarter, Notre Dame leads by the score of 49-0. Back with the kickoff right after this.
I'm Thomas Jefferson Davis, candidate for state representative. I'm asking that you vote for me on November the 4th. What have you got to lose? What we've seen happen in Ohio in the last 4 years is vital cuts to programs such as libraries, high schools as Portsmouth High School, and many services that our youth need. Is this the way that we want our youth to believe in being raised in Ohio? These are not Ohio principles, and these are things that I will not stand for. We have nothing to lose in this state. We have lost it all, and I would certainly appreciate your help in restoring the 90th District to the People's District.
Sweet Confections is your best choice for a full-service bakery. We have wedding, specialty, and birthday cakes, cookies, cupcakes, fudge, and more. We even have sugar-free diabetic treats. At Sweet Confections, our sweets are happiness condensed. Call or go online and order your happiness today.
Notre Dame puts together a 35-second one-play drive. Sam Kaiser, a 39-yard run. And Notre Dame leads now by the score of 49-0. 10:48 to go in this ball game's third quarter. As Green will get the ball for their first time of the half. And again, the running clock will be the order of the day here in half number 2. And Green will start the ball from inside their 20. Mark it on the Green 19-yard line. And here come the Bobcats up.
First and 10.
Gaffney is the quarterback. And he's going to give to the first man through into the middle.
Up the middle. I think that was number 4, Brody Storms on the run.
And Storms out on the right side blocking, and he was not the one, if you heard the PA announcer, who was carrying the ball. That was inside. That was Blevins.
The Green Bobcat. 22-yard line.
Who picks up a couple. High school football on the Zone. Sent your way by all the Zone Country locations of the Portsmouth Public Library, by Toro Loco on Washington Street, and by the Portsmouth Cinema. Thanks to our sponsors, and thanks to you for being there. Gaffney looks. He's taking his time.
Gaffney looking around. Second down and 8.
And again, they're going to Blevins. Blevins will move it outside after no room inside, and doesn't find any room at all to maneuver there, as Notre Dame is all over that defensive right side.
Notre Dame tightens on the tackle. Looks like it was.
And as they unpile, one man's a little slow getting up here.
Harrison Bianco was in on the tackle. Harrison Bianco, 62's coming out of the game.
They
22 goes in.
They do have a man down for Green, so while they take care of the man who is injured, we'll take time out for this reminder.
This is my business.
I'm the owner and sole proprietor.
I only have one other employee, Chester.
It's a romantic notion. Be the boss, but you are alone.
Well, not technically alone.
I do have a lot of help, actually.
My UPS store.
I had this printed there.
Packing, shipping, help.
Outstanding.
Toasters.
I have a mailbox there.
Best thing, they're right down the street.
The owner's a friend.
Forgot the account.
My team.
Yes! Careful now.
Two for the 7:30, please.
Enjoy the movie. It's a lot cleaner. Yeah, they actually cycle movies faster.
They've been sending it like a box of chocolates.
I love Ubers.
Have you seen a really big snake? I hate snakes. None shall pass.
Wheelersburg Cinema, still bringing movies to life.
Advance 360 brings care to the next level after your hospital stay. Recover in luxury in your private suite. Stay connected, relax, and focus on healing and getting back home. Advance 360 is Portsmouth's premier post-hospital rehabilitation destination. Contact your healthcare provider to reserve your private recovery suite today. Located on the campus of Bridgeport Healthcare, a proud member of the Communicare family of companies.
Welcome back to Spartan Municipal Stadium. Injury timeout. And things are getting pretty well set here now as Notre Dame leading by the score of 49-0. We're using the running clock. Of course, it doesn't run during an injury timeout. And we are in the third quarter. The clock says 9:01. It's homecoming at Notre Dame. And there will be activities after the game up at Notre Dame. The Bobcats will have third and about 8 to go on about their own 20, 21-yard line as they head off the left side, and Notre Dame again in hard.
At the line of scrimmage.
And not much gain there, if at all, and that's going to put up a fourth down on the chart. And again, Green with their kicking game disabled tonight. Doesn't have much choice. One of the Green players moving off the field with an injury to his leg. That's Braden Miller, the 6'2", 280-pound senior. As he limps off the field there, hopefully can be tended to, maybe just a little gig or something as he moves up the sideline and tries to stretch it out. Appears to be taking care of that himself.
4th down and 6 yards to go.
So 4th and 6 for Green's Bobcats. They're deep in their own territory as the ball sits now on their own 23. Bobcats with 3 backs. And they try a little kick first time tonight. And that one takes a heck of a roll and is going to be down inside the 35, down to about the 32. And that one caught everybody, including me, by surprise, as almost quick kick style, pretty close to that. That's the first punt of the night for the Green Bobcats, and it turns out pretty successful. As that gives Notre Dame the ball with 7.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter, and the Titans will have the ball on their own 32-yard line as they sit on top of a 49-0 lead. We'll see what Coach Ashley does in the way of a lineup here as they come out. And it looks like he's got his first unit in there. Man in motion is Collins. They give to Collins going around the right side. And he is caught after a gain of about a yard. And on him over there that time were Brady Storms and also Woodruff.
On the tackle.
The 220-pound junior Bryce Salyers also given credit for the tackle, a pickup of a half a yard on that. As the Titans, with the running clock, high school football on the zone sent your way by King's Daughters Medical Center, Ohio, by Real Estate Gallery, Falcon1.net, Minford Telephone, and Minford TV, Trinidad Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, by the Portsmouth Cinema and Toro Loco.
Ball carrier on the play.
And Notre Dame sticking to the ground.
Kaiser, gain of loss of actually about 3 yards.
So caught in the backfield, it'll be 3rd and 12 for Notre Dame. Notre Dame in this position because Green, for the first time tonight, offered up a punt.
4-4-3-2.
And it was a bit of a surprise to all of us. Major comes out with his play from the sideline and brings his team up. He's going to put Collins at a wing on the right. He also has a wing on the left and a back beside him as he takes the direct snap. In motion goes Phillips, and Phillips will take the ball, and he'll move forward for 3 to 5, depending on how much he got to scoot up through there. He does get across the 35, and they'll mark it about the 36.
6 yards to go.
That'll give Notre Dame 4th down at about 6. And Notre Dame will put the foot to it. Doing the honors should be Brandon Lansing. Lansing, the 6-foot-tall junior, has not had to worry too much about exercising his punting muscles this evening.
Number 8, Brandon Lansing.
Lansing stands inside his 25, about the 24. Not a big rush from Green, and the kick is high, but not real long. And it's going to bounce around the 41, maybe 40-yard line.
Lansing
and so a trade of punts
at the 43-yard line of the Green Bobcats, where Green
gives the Bobcats the ball back with 4:45 to go here in the third quarter.
No one is coming to collect.
And they will
on the split the pot, so we will call
start the drive on their own 43-yard line.
The number is 636-4396.
As the Bobcats come up and set, they trail 49-0 with 4.5 minutes to play here in quarter number 3. Full house backfield. They go straight ahead, and a big crowd in there comes crashing down on Blevins. And again, trying to name all of them would be kind of difficult.
Made on the play by number 7, Tyson Montgomery. Number
and
71.
So a pickup of maybe half a yard on that.
And there might even been another couple of players in on that. Coming out of the game, Hayden Phillips, number 1. Going
and
in,
so the Bobcats,
Cameron Rodriguez for the Notre Dame Tigers.
Last several plays they have run out of the full house backfield, and they appear to be coming up in that as well. 2 tight ends. And they give to the second man, and up through there is Storms. Brady Storms came into this ball game 71 carries for 511 yards.
65.
He's not a real big fella, 5'8", 150 pounds, but is a player. High school football on the zone. Sent your way by Advanced 360 Care, by ADS Auto and Tire, by attorney Eddie Edwards, by Bob Evans of New Boston, and by Furman's Orchard. Thanks to our sponsors, and thanks to you for being there as well. Third down, about 7 to go for the Bobcats. They're on their own end of the field, about the 47. And again to the second man and squeezing his way up close to midfield, but still short of the first down.
50-yard line. Running the ball on the play
is the Bobcats Storms.
Number 4, Brody Storms once again. So now it's going to be 4th down and
so 4th down and short. Green has not found themselves in this 4th and short very many times tonight. They have faced a number of 4th down opportunities. Last time they threw up a quick punt, and that's the first time that had happened this evening. So we will see what happens now as they come up again. Same formation as they have been using. And again, Gaffney takes it and tucks. He's got enough for the first down. He gets down to about the 45 before he's brought down over there.
He goes for a first down.
And so Green picks up a first down.
Cameron Rodriguez.
As Rodriguez brings him down. 5'7" sophomore getting some action. As we're down to about a minute and a half to go here in quarter number 3. High school football on the zone sent your way by all the Zone Country locations of the Atomic Credit Union, by Portsmouth Cement and Lime, by PNC Bank, by Serve Pro, Sisters Dairy Barn in Sciotaville, and Stoltz Pharmacy in Wheelersburg. 1st and 10.
First down for the Green Bobcats.
And again, they're going to go to Storms, and Storms will drive through. Nice follow-up after his initial hit, and he gets down inside the 40 as the left side of the green line. Did a little opening up of the spot there. Included amongst them on that side was Tyler Johnson, who made a nice hole for Storms on that one. Pickup of about 6 or 7, second and long 3 to go, as we're down to about 35 seconds to go here in quarter number 3. Bobcats come up. High school football on the zone, sent your way by the Battery Terminal, by your hometown university, Shawnee State University, and by all the Zone Country locations of the Portsmouth Public Library. Big mix-up in the backfield, and nothing doing on that one as Notre Dame was in there on top of that one practically before the handout was passed off. And really no room at the end on that one. And that ends the third quarter. We are 3/4 of the way home here at Spartan Stadium. And the score is Notre Dame 49 and Green nothing. Back with the fourth verse of this song when we return right after this.
Atomic Credit Union has been serving Southern Ohio since 1955. With 11 different locations, our friendly staff is here to help you with all your financial needs. From loans to checking accounts, online services, and extended hours, Atomic Credit Union is your full-service financial institution. Check out our website at www.2mycu.com or call us at 1-800-652-2328 to learn about the benefits of an Atomic Credit Union membership.
Notre Dame leading Green 49-0. There you see the Titans coming out. A lot of fresher jerseys in there as the Titans have led for the entire ball game, and the clock has been running the entire second half. The Bobcats coming in, looking forward to returning home the next 2 weeks. They will host East, Sciotaville Community School, the Tartans, and then they'll have their hands full with the Oak Hill Oaks in SOC Division I play to close out things the last week of the season. And here come the Bobcats, and they give this time, they keep this time, excuse me, as Gaffney fakes to Darnell and then heads left and gets down inside the 40 to about the 37. It's going to be a fourth down again for Green. Last time they had a fourth down, they converted. So we will see what we will see comes out of Coach Newsom's bag of tricks this time. As the Bobcats, with Gaffney at the quarterback spot. Across the line, Carver, Miller, Armstrong, Johnson, and Salyers. The blocking crew.
Gaffney under center.
Again, a full house backfield with new backs in there.
Ball handed off up the middle to number 19, Blevins.
Blevins, I think, is going to come up short on the first down try.
Basler and Michael Collins.
Basler and Michael Collins bring him down, and it's going to be about a yard short. So Green will lose the ball on downs.
Notre Dame 35-yard line.
And so they will turn it over on downs to Notre Dame with 10:37 to go.
Quick moment to thank Wagner Reynolds.
And Notre Dame will have the ball on their own 35-yard line. We'll see what Coach Ashley does in the way of
the Athletic Association so that we could get
sending out his ball team. Looks like Isaiah Johnson may be calling the plays now. Johnson, 5'11" sophomore, will be in. He'll be under center. He puts a man in motion, and they try the left side and grind out a couple.
The fumble is
the ball is loose, and looks like Green has it. So they bring in the young guys, and the ball gets coughed up. It's not the first time it's been coughed up by Notre Dame tonight, as Green recovered one earlier. And Green recovers with 9:58 to go here in the ball game. Green will get it back, and the ball is sitting on the Notre Dame 37-yard line. High school football on the zone sent your way by Minix's Giovanni's in West Portsmouth, Minford Telephone and TV, H. Powell Insurance in New Boston, the Glockner family of dealerships, and Desco Federal Credit Union. Moving into the middle, Storm's not able to find too much going on there.
Number 52, Aaron Basler.
Stop on the play that time by Aaron Basler.
Looks like number 5, Peyton Croc, might have been.
And they may give him about a half a yard or so. 9:10 to play in this contest. Coach Ted Newsom of the Green Bobcats, a graduate of the University of Toledo. He was a Rocket. And interesting coaching connections there. We'll talk about that in a second as Gaffney will set. And they're going to try a little bit outside, and Blevins moves out. He's going to be hit by 2 or 3. Amongst them for Notre Dame out there was Ethan Malt. And a pickup of 3 or 4. It'll be 3rd down and about 6 to go for Green. Coach Newsom played for Nick Saban, who now, of course, is the head coach of the University of Alabama. And one of the assistant coaches there was Brady Hoke, who's now the head man at the University of Michigan. He's a good friend of Coach Newsom's.
3rd down and 7 for the Green Bobcats.
Bobcats with Gaffney taking his time looking. And again, Blevins cuts it outside. He's got enough for the 1st down, still on his feet. He's moving down inside the 25, down to about the 23, before he is finally stopped down there by senior Peyton Croc. And it's a Green 1st down.
Down at the Notre Dame 20-yard line.
Green has at times moved the ball well, and other times they have just not been able to grind it out tonight. But they have not stopped in their efforts.
Tyler Shaw.
High school football sent your way by all the Zone Country locations of the Portsmouth Public Library, the Roger W. Davis Funeral Home in West Portsmouth. Again, the full house backfield. Blevins again moves forward. He's tripped up as he crosses the line of scrimmage by Croc, but he does continue forward to pick up a couple of 3 more following the initial contact. So it'll be 2nd down and about 5 or 6 to go.
6 yards. 2nd and 6 for the Green Bobcats at the Notre Dame 15.
High school football sent your way by the Salvation Army, by Strieber Mortgage, by all the Zone Country locations of Sunspot Tanning, and by Sweet Confections Bakery in Barbersville. And this time again, they're going to Blevins. Blevins cuts back to the right. He's heading toward the end zone.
Number 19,
and Blevins takes the ball
Green Bobcat
into the end zone. Touchdown Green. That touchdown sent your way by Thomas Jefferson Davis for state representative. So Blevins scores for the Bobcats. From about the 18-yard line. And following a score in high school football, even with the running clock, the clock stops on the score. 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the ball game. As the pitch goes off to the right side, as they head down inside, it's good. Pitch over there, and the 2-pointer scored by Tyler Darnell. So Darnell picks up 2, and Green now has 8 points. Score 49-8. Back with the kickoff right after this.
Many people know that at the battery terminal in Ashland, Kentucky, we sell automotive, marine, and recreational vehicle batteries. But did you know we also sell
Power Wheels, motorcycle, and wheelchair batteries? We also sell batteries for garage door openers, watches, cordless phones, and cell phones.
The Battery Terminal is a family-owned business located in Ashland, Kentucky. We've been in business for 28 years, and we are here to service your battery needs.
Welcome back to Spartan Stadium. There you see the Notre Dame Titans celebrating their homecoming tonight as they lead 49-8. The Green Bobcats just scored as their scoring drive started on the Notre Dame 37 following a fumble recovery. So the turnover directly resulting in the points. And Blevins, an 18-yard run, caps a 37-yard drive that took 3 minutes and 28 seconds off the clock. The two-pointer by Darnell was good on the pitch from Gaffney. And the score now is 49-8. 6:26 to go in this ball game. Green is setting, and their kick is going to be end over end, and it's going to be picked up out of the air and moving up the left side where he will be downed over there. And that's where Notre Dame will take over. And they'll have it 1st and 10. They'll set the ball on the Notre Dame 41-yard line. High school football on the zone. Sent your way by Dan Cassidy and the folks at Barrett and Murphin Insurance, longtime sponsors of our sports activities here on the zone. By the Glockner family of dealerships. Sent your way by Gutter Pro and Goodwill, as well as Osco Industries and Rallies on Route 52 in Portsmouth. Rodriguez continues and drives well after being hit and is going to take that ball all the way up to midfield where he'll be just about a yard short of the first down. Rodriguez, a 5'7", 750-pound sophomore. So Coach Ashley getting some valuable time in for his younger ball players. So it'll be 2nd and 1. 5 minutes to play in the ball game. And they give it inside, and Green is into the backfield. There's going to be a loss of about a half a yard on the play. In there amongst them, and quick on the scene for Green that time was Dakota Martin and also Braxton Miller, or Bratton Miller. And so it'll be 3rd down and about 2 to go for the Titans.
Last carry was by Hunter Harrell, number 33.
And wings on either side, a wide receiver to the left. One of the wings goes in motion, and it's handed off to him and hit in the backfield hard. Rodriguez hit hard over there that time by Miller. Miller with a big whack on him right about there is going to be 4th down for Notre Dame. High school football on the zone sent your way by the UPS store on 11th Street, by the Wheelersburg Cinema, by Thomas Jefferson Davis for 90th District State Representative. Brought to you by Lightning Lube at 11th and Finley, and by Bob Evans of New Boston. Notre Dame will drop the punt. The snap's a little bit high, but not unhandleable, as Lansing's kick is going to go down and be muffed, and it's loose, and it looks like Notre Dame may be on that. Well, there's a Green ball player underneath things there, and underneath it all was Tyler Darnell, who was surrounded by white jerseys. So Notre Dame punts it away. Green gets new life there following the muffed kick, and with 3:26 to go, Green will have the ball on their own end of the football field inside their 20-yard line. We'll call it about the 17, 16. Well, let's call it the 17-yard line. Again, the full house backfield. And a nice bit of open opening there by the blockers. Blevins has had a workout tonight. Green's line did a good job of opening up the hole on the left side there. And Blevins taken down to the turf. 2.5 minutes to play in this ball game. Blevins again on the right side this time is going to get enough. Well, he's going to get close. I don't know if he'll get up to the first down or not. Let's see where they mark it. And it looks like, well, it's really close. Let's see what they say here. And they're going to say it's third down in the inches. So a nice opening there for Blevins this time. He's definitely got the first down and is out on the right side, still on his feet, across the 40, out to the 42. So Wyatt Blevins, the junior, does a good job. Contact a couple of times. He is the leading ball carrier as far as numbers of carries coming into this ball game. 116 carries coming in. The big fullback, not really big, 160 pounds. And Blevins with a good running sense there. We'll take it up a few yards, approaching midfield. The clock at 1:18. High school football on the zone, sent your way by Terry Johnson for 90th District State Representative. By Sam Kaiser's family. Good luck to Sam. Love from Mom and Dad. Brought to you by Stakers Sales and Service. Also sent your way by Rudity's Driving School and Life Medical Response. And on the left side, lots of running room out through there as Storms gets all the way down into Notre Dame territory, about the 32. 43 seconds to go here in the ball game as there's still some timeouts left, but I don't know if Green wants to take the opportunity to try to get another score on the board. They are hurrying up to the line. And the pitch is going to go this time to Darnell. Darnell's going to be stopped out there on the right side, and he is brought down as Rodriguez is all over the place, and that's probably pretty well going to do the ball game as we're down to 10. And Green, you would think, would be stopping the clock on this particular situation, but they're just trying to see if they can hustle it. And moving down, there's Storms, and that's going to be the ball game. So Notre Dame has a very successful homecoming ball game. They're going to pick up their second victory of the season. Green will drop to 2-6, while Notre Dame will raise their record to 2-6. And our final score here tonight on a homecoming rainy night at Spartan Stadium. The Notre Dame Titans 49, the Green Bobcats 8. We'll be back to wrap things up here from Spartan Stadium when we return right after this.
You've always been able to recognize value. The decisions you make today put you on the road to where you want to be tomorrow. Throughout your life, you've planned and made smart decisions. You deserve State Auto's Prime of Life to protect your home and autos. Find out more about Prime of Life and other State Auto products.
Call Barrett Murphy, your local State Auto Insurance agency.
Welcome back to Spartan Stadium, where Notre Dame has a successful homecoming game as they defeat the Green Bobcats by the score of 49-8. to give up the ball on downs. Notre Dame took the ball on the green 33 and fumbled as Blevins recovered for the Green Bobcats. Green started on their own 37, put together a couple of first downs, went into the second quarter and coughed the ball up, and C.J. Smith was right there on the 38-yard line. Took the ball 62 yards straight down the right side, and at 11:46 of the second quarter, after Cassidy's kick, Notre Dame was ahead 21-0. Green started again after the kickoff. Couple of penalties were traded, and the next thing you know, Michael Collins grabs the ball and takes it down at the 9:04 mark, and another important turnover puts Notre Dame up by the score of 28-0. Green again came up the field, and a pick that time set Notre Dame up on the 8-yard line. Kaiser took it in from 8 yards out, and it was 35-0 with 6:29 to go in the first half. Green lost the ball on downs. Notre Dame came back at the 2:33 mark on the Green 48-yard line, and one play later, Sam Kaiser took the ball in, and Notre Dame led by the score of 42-0. At the half, that was the score. As we came out of the third quarter with the running clock, Notre Dame started off receiving things, and Sam Kaiser continued in his scoring bonanza tonight as he took the ball and ran the ball 39 yards, and Notre Dame led by the score of 49-0 at the 10:56 mark of the third quarter. Green and Notre Dame exchanged punts. Green got the ball on their own 43, went to the end of the third with the score still 49-0, and eventually lost the ball on downs early in the fourth quarter. Notre Dame took the ball on their own 35 following that loss on downs, but was unable to hold on as they coughed the ball up, and Blevins recovered for Green. Blevins then turned around, and an 18-yard run gave Green their score of the night. Darnell went for two as far as the pitch from Gaffney is concerned, and the score was then 49-8 with 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the ball game. Notre Dame took the ball following the kickoff, had to punt it away. Then Green got the ball on their own 17 following the punt, but were unable to move it far enough to get a score. They did get deep into Notre Dame territory about the 30-yard line, but were unable to get any points across the board, and that made our final score Notre Dame 49 and Green 8. We're on the wrap-up here on The Zone. We'll be back to present our player awards when we return right after this.
I'm Kristen. I graduated from Shawnee, and I'm currently teaching in China. I work at the largest international kindergarten in my region. We teach through singing, dancing, and body language. I completed the program in China with my student teaching.
I'm Alex, and I'm an education major. Other classmates would often ask me for help, and then a few teachers told me that I should tutor. I want to be able to show how complex concepts can relate to real life. If you can help someone learn something, you yourself understand it better.
We ready here? Okay. Welcome back to Spartan Municipal Stadium, where Notre Dame has won their homecoming game by the score of 49-8 over the Green Bobcats. Notre Dame raises their record to 2-6 on the year and picks up an important SOC Division I victory. As we wrap things up here, we want to present our Defensive Player of the Game award, presented to you by the Portsmouth Cinema. And I think something that we saw a lot of, surprised a lot of folks, was the speed with which this player grabbed the ball on a fumble and went down the right-hand side. And I'm talking, of course, about number 54 for Notre Dame. That's C.J. Smith, the 6'2", 190-pound senior, propelled himself at what, for a guy his size, was breakneck speed, after picking up the fumble and didn't miss a stride as he went down and scored a touchdown for Notre Dame. And so our Portsmouth Cinema Defensive Player of the Game, number 52, C.J. Smith for the Notre Dame Titans. Then it's time to present our Player of the Game award. And, of course, we had a lot of folks that we could have mentioned for Notre Dame on this one. Collins had a couple of scores, but we will be presenting our Player of the Game award tonight to sophomore Sam Kaiser. 5'8", 140-pound sophomore, had a couple of scores tonight. He was playing some good defense, and he was all over the place as Notre Dame, a good team effort on defense. But Kaiser, our Player of the Game, will receive the honor from Toro Loco. So 5'8", 240-pound sophomore Sam Kaiser receives the Toro Loco Player of the Game award tonight. And that pretty well wraps it up here from Spartan Stadium for our evening of broadcasting. I want to say thanks to our sponsors as we close things out here from Spartan Stadium. We'll be back here the next 2 weeks in a row to watch the final 2 home games for Notre Dame. We hope that you'll join us for Sims Valley next week, and then we'll have East in for another SOC Division I game following the Sims Valley game next week. Thanks to our sponsors this evening, and we want to include in that Bob and Floyd's Tire Sales, Donnie Martin, Heating and Cooling, Brian Davis for Scioto County Commissioner. Also brought to you by Jason Bentley, your Midland agent, Jackpot Skilled Stop Games, Oak Tree Construction, Pro Pest Control, Sherman Cricker Insurance, Terry Johnson for 90th District State Representative. Also brought to you by Sisters Dairy Barn in Sciotaville, Stoltz Pharmacy, Bob Evans of New Boston, Lightning Lube. Want to mention Sam Kaiser's parents who brought you part of the game tonight. Good luck, Sam, and he turns out to be, of course, our Player of the Game tonight, so I guess he had pretty good luck this evening. Also sponsoring tonight, Randy Mattis Motors, home of the lifetime warranty. Thomas Jefferson Davis for 90th District State Representative, Wheelersburg Cinema, UPS Store, the Battery Terminal, Sweet Confections Bakery, Sunspot Tanning, Streber Mortgage, Rudity's Driving School, Life Medical Response, Shawnee State University, the Salvation Army, the Roger W. Davis Funeral Home in West Portsmouth, Pro Pest Control, OSCO, the Portsmouth Public Library, Portsmouth Cinema 8, Oak Tree Construction, Jason Bentley, Minix's Giovanni's, Binford Telephone and TV, Jackpot Skilled Stop Games, H. Powell Insurance in New Boston, Gutter Pro, PNC Bank, Goodwill, the Glockner family of dealerships, Serve Pro, Portsmouth Cement and Lime, Donnie Martin Heating and Cooling, all the Zone Country locations of the Desco Federal Credit Union, Furman's Orchard, Brian Davis for Scioto County Commissioner, Dan Cassidy and the folks at Barrett & Murphin Insurance, Bob and Floyd's Tire Sales, Barrett & Murphin Insurance, Advanced 360 Care, Randy Mattis Motors, home of the lifetime warranty, Attorney Eddie Edwards, ADS Auto and Tire, Toro Loco, Portsmouth Cinema, Trinidad Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, Falcon1.net, Minford Telephone and Minford TV, Real Estate Gallery, and our game sponsor, King's Daughters Medical Center, Ohio. Thanks to all of our sponsors, and thanks to you for being there. Our next game will be next Saturday night when we will have Valley at Wheelersburg. We'll be on hand for the Indians and the Pirates in an SOC Division II game. And then a week from tonight, we will join you right here at Spartan Stadium when we will have the Notre Dame Titans hosting the Sims Valley Vikings. Should be a good weekend of football. We hope that you will join us then. Again, a homecoming night here at Notre Dame High School in which they honored homecoming queen Emily Baker. The final score was the Notre Dame Titans 49, the Green Bobcats 8. I'm Tony Lavender. Thanks for watching, everyone, and so long.